Amigos, welcome one, welcome all. Now, can I get an amen? Now, how about a hallelujah? Say it, hallelujah. It's show with no name time. Let's lift off together. 6,
5, 4, 3,
2, come on.
0.
Here we go.
Lift off. Lift off. 30 minutes.
Come on, come on, come on.
Get ready.
Get ready.
Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your
And
hats. Get ready
for the ride of your life. Come on, you know the words.
It's show with no name time.
On Fun Radio. Come on. Get pumped.
Let's go.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we are blessed, bendecidos. Just because we can get together every day and learn and laugh and play and share. So thank you, Show with No Namers, for being such an integral part of this show. And not just this show, I know for a fact that many of you are also warriors, as Rob and Andy call the people who tune into the lunchtime show, and you know who you are. And hopefully you'll see all of us, because you're coming to the trivia night. I can now finally say I'm ready. All right, well, I didn't put it off till the last minute. I was ready yesterday, so the day before. But I'm psyched, I'm stoked, and I know many of you are joining us at the Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. It's gonna be a blast. Yeah, a blast, a good time, a riot. And if you can't make it, we get it. Not everybody lives in Madrid. Not everybody can get to the center of Madrid on a Tuesday night. But if you can, we'll see you there.
Hey, Daddy, when's the next trivia night?
It's Tuesday, June 3rd at 8 p.m.
Who's hosting?
Me,
Oh, great. Where is it again?
at the Toast Tap Room.
Cool. See you there.
Awesome. Pues ahí lo tenéis, familia. Nos vemos el 3 de junio a las 8 en Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. That's right, folks, our trivia night. And for those of you who love a good challenge, well, then you're going to love today's pop quiz. Pop quiz. Come on, sing it. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Come on. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Come on. All right, folks. Well, welcome to our pop quiz. And as you know, this is just an opportunity to get some content from one of the many, many, many amazing materials you can pick up at Von Tienda or vontienda.com if you can't stop by in person. But remember, if you live in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, or Zaragoza, you can always stop by in person. And also remember, if you're thinking of getting any materials, whether it's the one we're going to look at today, or, well, somewhere down the line, you want to look at phrasal verbs or get the translation booklet that I always recommend, or who knows, even one of my books, well, now's the time, because you can get a 10% discount if you stop by Feria del Libro, the book fair in Madrid. It's going on until, let me check my calendar, until the 15th, is it? Yeah, I think it's the 15th. So it's from the 30th of May to the 15th of June, 2025, and it is stand 309. You can check our social media if you want to see who's going to be there when. I won't be able to be there anymore. I was there last weekend, and as I said, thank you so much again for all of you who joined us. And for those of you who wanted to come but couldn't, and I know there were many in that category as well, such as Joaquin and many other friends who usually come to visit, it's not so easy to get to Madrid, and it's a busy time as well. So everybody, whether you came from, the neighborhood right next to the Retiro, or whether you came from Canarias, thank you. And remember, we'll be there until the 15th of June. Our stand is 309. And I know Richard Vaughn is going to be there on Sundays, so that'll be Sunday the 8th and Sunday the 15th. But I'm not exactly sure of what time he's going to be there. But you've got all that information. Again, I imagine most of you are following us on social media. And if you are, then you'll know that information. And you'll also know about the material we're going to take a look at in today's pop quiz. Now, the material is part of a collection. Now, you can get it separately, or you can get the whole collection. That's up to you. But it is called Speak English B2. Now, you also have Speak English B1, right? These are the levels. And then you've got for beginners, and I think all levels, as I always say, it doesn't matter what level you are, a refresher is always good. No, siempre viene bien repasar lo básico, go over the basics, the foundation of any language. And so you've got Speak English A1 and A2. That's in one book. In one book, I should say multimedia material, because you've got audio, which we're going to listen to that in just a moment. But you've got Speak English A1 and A2 in one book. Then the next level is Speak English B1. And the one we're going to listen to right now, Speak English B2. So everybody, as always, I want your attention, and I'm going to ask you some questions after. So get ready for whatever lies ahead. Lo que haya adelante. Here is a little excerpt from Speak English B2.
2. Grammar. To remind versus to remember.
Tienes que acordarte de cerrar la puerta.
You have to remember to shut the door.
¿Me puedes recordar quién es ella?
Can you remind me who she is?
¿Él se acuerda de mí?
Does he remember me?
A ella se le da fatal recordar nombres.
She's terrible at remembering names.
Recuérdale a ella cómo hacerlo.
Remind her how to do it.
No me acuerdo de lo que dijeron.
I can't remember what they said.
Recuérdale a tu hermana que vaya al banco.
Remind your sister to go to the bank.
¿Le recordaste a él que recoja el traje?
Did you remind him to pick up the suit?
Si no recuerdo mal, la tienda está enfrente de la estación de tren.
If I remember correctly, the shop is opposite the train station.
No consigo recordar sus caras.
I can't remember their faces.
Recuérdame que compre leche luego.
Remind me to buy milk later.
¿Te acordaste de comprar pan?
Did you remember to buy bread?
Ella me recuerda a mi hija.
She reminds me of my daughter.
Phil me recuerda a ese presentador de televisión rubio.
Phil reminds me of that blonde TV presenter.
No me acordaré de hacerlo si no me lo recuerdas.
I won't remember to do it if you don't remind me.
Acuérdate de ir al cine para comprar las entradas.
Remember to go to the cinema to buy the tickets.
Me acuerdo de haber ido al cine por primera vez con mi padre.
I remember going to the cinema for the first time with my dad.
No recuerdo haberme dejado las llaves en el trabajo.
I don't remember leaving my keys at work.
¿Recuerdas haber visto mis llaves en la mesa?
Do you remember seeing my keys on the table?
¿Dónde está mi cartera? Me acuerdo de haberla puesto en la mesa.
Where's my wallet? I remember putting it on the table. Test yourself.
¿Recuerdas esa peli?
Do you remember that movie?
¿Puedes recordarme a qué hora empieza la peli?
Can you remind me what time the movie starts?
Acuérdate de hablar con él.
Remember to talk to him.
Me acuerdo de haber hablado con él hace unos años.
I remember talking to him a few years ago.
Recuérdale a ella que compre manzanas.
Remind her to buy apples.
Acuérdate de comprar las cosas que te dije.
Remember to buy the things I told you.
¿Dónde está el pan? Recuerdo comprarlo y meterlo en la bolsa.
Where's the bread? I remember buying it and putting it in the bag. 11 grammar, even and not even.
Incluso mi hijo sabe hacer eso. Y eso que tiene 5 años.
Even my son knows how to do that, and he's 5 years old.
Ni siquiera mi hija sabe hacer eso. Y eso que es ingeniera.
Not even my daughter knows how to do that, and she's an engineer.
Hasta yo sé eso.
Even I know that.
Hasta los peores jugadores pueden hacer eso.
Even the worst players can do that.
Ni siquiera el profesor sabe eso.
Not even the teacher knows that.
Ni siquiera a Sara le importa eso.
Not even Sarah cares about that.
Hasta las personas buenas tienen secretos.
Even good people have secrets.
Ella habla muchos idiomas, incluso habla mandarín.
She speaks a lot of languages. She even speaks Mandarin.
Él ni siquiera sabe decir hola en inglés.
He doesn't even know how to say hello in English.
Hasta a mi abuelita le gusta esa canción.
Even my granny likes that song.
Ni siquiera yo entiendo lo que estás intentando decir.
Not even I understand what you're trying to say.
Ni siquiera el analista sabía la respuesta.
Not even the analyst knew the answer.
Él tiene todo tipo de mascotas. Incluso tiene serpientes.
He keeps all kinds of pets. He even keeps snakes.
Hoy está lloviendo en todas partes. Incluso está lloviendo en Sevilla.
It's raining everywhere today. It's even raining in Seville.
Ni siquiera yo podría hacer eso.
Not even I could do that.
Ni siquiera tú puedes estropear mi buen estado de ánimo ahora mismo.
Not even you can ruin my good mood right now.
E incluso la gente más cínica tiene esperanza.
Even the most cynical people have hope.
He invitado a todo el mundo que conozco, incluso a mi jefe.
I've invited everyone I know, even my boss.
Ni siquiera él dio las gracias.
He didn't even say thank you.
No me gustan los refrescos, ni siquiera el té helado.
I don't like soft drinks, not even iced tea. Test yourself.
A todo el mundo le gustó la crema de brócoli, incluso a mis hijos.
Everyone liked the broccoli soup, even my children.
Ni siquiera se lo conté a mi marido.
I didn't even tell my husband.
Ella fue a muchos países diferentes, incluso fue a Mali.
She went to lots of different countries. She even went to Mali.
Nunca me ha gustado el fútbol, ni siquiera cuando era joven.
I've never liked football, not even when I was young.
No me queda suficiente dinero, ni siquiera para un café.
I don't have enough money left, not even for a coffee.
Vimos a todo tipo de animales, incluso vimos leones.
We saw all kinds of animals. We even saw lions.
Incluso un niño podría hacer eso.
Even a child could do that.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughn Town, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughn Town, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovaughn.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughn Town. That's right, amigos, Vaughn Town. And if you want more information about Vaughn Town, you can always reach out on social media. You can drop us a line via our website, which is grupovaughn.com. And again, if you're thinking of picking up some materials for the summer, which is the perfect time to sit by the pool, have some ice cold water with a lemon in it. Ooh, that sounds good. And learn English while you're at it. So, you're being a beach bum, as we call them, somebody who loves the beach, un vago de playa, we say, un vagabundo o vago de playa, a beach bum. Well, you'll be listening to one of your favorite Vaughn materials. So pick them up at a 10% discount. You can do that at the book fair, Feria del Libro. I highly recommend you stop by. It's stand 309. And for those of you who can't, don't worry. You can always pick stuff up at vaughntienda.com. And all our materials are also sold at Casa del Libro, Amazon, and many other fine booksellers. So we're easy to find. We like to think so on social media, on YouTube. Now, we always have to deal with the algorithm of the night. Oh, night, all right. It is the algorithm of the night. Sorry, I changed the song. But it's true. We're all dealing with the algorithm. So make sure you guys, too, you know that on most social media platforms, you can go to the corner. There's usually like a corner, one of the options. I'm thinking in the corner because it's on Instagram. It's in the right corner. And you can put like follow this. The word isn't follow. It's subscribe or something like that. And this way you make sure it's in your algorithm. So I forget what the actual function is called, but most of these, I know YouTube as well. One thing is subscribing to somebody's YouTube, and another thing is receiving notifications because, again, we're depending on the algorithm there. But if you want to be notified, you will be. And that's how it works on many, many platforms. So make sure you're following us on all the different platforms. And this way, you're learning with us even from the toilet. Yeah. Let's be honest. We all use our phones when we're on the throne. All right, now, let's see what we've got there. Again, this is Speak English B2, just one of the books in our Speak English collection. And let's see how you guys fared. Let's see how well you know these different concepts, these very common concepts, and concepts that tend to be a bit confusing from my experience. So let's see if they're confusing for you guys. Either way, by the end of the section, you'll be totally clear on when we use each one and how. All right, the first one is recuérdame que haga tal cosa, que diga, que llame. You got to use a verb. Recuérdame que would be the structure in Spanish. Okay? So recuérdame que haga tal cosa. Recuérdame que te diga eso. Recuérdame que. Use it. Again, the best way, guys, to use examples is to think of one you would actually use. ¿Qué es algo que normalmente te tienen que recordar o que tú sueles decir? Oye, recuérdame que te diga. I mean, how do you use it? Everybody uses things similarly, but then everybody also uses them in their own way, right? So let's personalize it. How would you say, recuérdame que? What's the first thing that comes to mind? Recuérdame que te diga eso luego, right? All right, the second one. Me recuerdas a, o algo te recuerda a otra cosa. That's the second structure I want to see if you guys know or not, okay? So, me recuerdas a, o puede ser, no tiene que ser una persona, esta ciudad me recuerda a. So, algo que te recuerda a algo. Again, personalize it. Use a real example. In this way, you're not just practicing random sentences here, but you're practicing a sentence you would actually use in the language, right? Sometimes we're missing that in academia, that, okay, now how do I apply it? Well, that's what I'm trying to have you think about every time you learn something. ¿Cómo voy a usar yo esto? ¿Cuándo voy a usar esto? En mi situación, según mis circunstancias. Okay, so, and the last one, ni siquiera, we're mixing here now. We're mixing both concepts we looked at. Ni siquiera se acuerda de mí. Ni siquiera, which we looked at many examples of that in the audio. And we also looked at acordar, recordar, right? So there you got a little bit of both in there. Ni siquiera se acuerda de mí is the third example. So all three, the first one, use recuérdame que. Okay, recuérdame que, seguido por un verbo. The second one, use this structure in English. Algo te recuerda de. Is that how you say it? Me recuerda. Oh, wait, me recuérdame que haga todo. Me recuerda. Yeah. Now I'm trying to think in Spanish. Estoy dudando. Sí, me recuerdas a. Me recuerda a. Yeah. See? Whoa. For there, I'm like, ¿es me recuerdas a mi hermano? Yeah. Okay. So it's not just confusing for you guys, porque acordar, recordar, but it's confusing for us in Spanish. Think about that. Recordar or acordar. You know, you saw it. I've been speaking Spanish for almost 47 years now. As long as I can speak, and I just blanked out there. So, recuérdame que, me recuerdas a, and the last one, ni siquiera se acuerda de mí. Also, a quick reminder and a nice round of applause for open water swimmers and Chris Valrol. They've already participated in our question of the week. If you'd like to participate, you can send me a 1-minute voice note. That's right, a 1-minute voice note. You can record it on your phone and tell us, what is the craziest or wildest thing you did back in school? All right, and school, I mean, school can be from grade school to college, universidad, so whatever. Maybe you were, because it's different. It depends. Everybody goes through different phases of their life, right? So maybe you were a little bit more wild in high school, and then in college you calmed down, or vice versa, right? As we know, we go through some crazy phases as teenagers, right? So what is, something where you look back and you're like, I would never do that now. I mean, and it doesn't have to be crazy, like lock you up and put you in jail, but just something you were like, what was I thinking? Wow. Okay. That's the old me there, I guess. So what is the craziest or wildest thing you did in school? ¿Y ves lo que he hecho ahí? I didn't say in a school. I said in school, right? Si lo unimos donde lo tenemos que unir, pues no podemos meter esa E que se suele colar ahí. El ejemplo perfecto. ¿Cuántas veces? I can tell you, como decimos en inglés, if I had a nickel, si tuviese 5 céntimos for every time I heard high school, I would be rich. I'd be totally rich. High school. So the thing is, if we don't take the pause, we can't put the E in there. Entonces es una forma de unirlo y también hacer que sea imposible meter la E. Another one, Bruce Springsteen. No, try it this way. Bruce, sonido S, ¿no? Al final. Springsteen, sonido S al principio, ¿no? So, ¿por qué no lo unimos? Bruce Springsteen. Steven Spielberg. No, Steven. Oh, no, pero ahí tenemos el doble. Steven Spielberg, right? Stevens. It's almost like you're saying Stevens, but you're not. You're saying Steven Spielberg, but it's a matter of where you link these words together. And that will help you, Spanish speakers, because I know it. I know it because of my wife. I know it because of my family. So many Spanish speakers in my life. That E before the S is killer, and it's ingrained in you. Está inculcado en ti. It's part of your language. I mean, the country itself is called España. So you can't take that E out. But in English, we must. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with much more. So stick around. Hello, amigos. Welcome back. Welcome back. This is part 2 of today's show with No Name here on Vaughn Radio. Quick reminder, que ahora, hoy que estamos mirando Remind and Remember, un recordatorio, a reminder. Right before this show every day, you can warm up with my friend Fitz. He's going to be at the trivia night as well. He never misses it. Well, there's beer, right? Friends, food. Why would he miss it? So you, amigos, don't miss it. The Vaughn Radio Trivia Night, June 3rd, 8 p.m. 2025, porque se repiten los programas. Get there a little bit before 8, because when I say 8, I mean 8. I'm on Geedy time, as you call it. So Fitz will be there, Rob and Andy from the Lunchtime Show and the Probo Show, Rob Graham's. Kyle Miller's going to be there from Drive Time. Chris Frank from Frankly Speaking. So if you want to hang out, maybe, who knows? Maybe you'll be on the same team as one of your teachers. The best thing, it's free. So if you can, come on out. All right, amigos, it's time for the Say What soundbite. Come on. Say what? What? Yes, yes, yes. Come on, come on. Say what, what? All right, folks. As always, we are going to hear a celebrity expressing themselves in English. And you've got a couple jobs. Your first job? To give me the gist of it, the main idea, the point. And hopefully, after the 4th listen, because you will have 4 listens, hopefully somebody will be able to give it to me word for word. So as always, you're going to hear it twice now, and then we'll discuss. Also, I see we've got a lot of students who are participating in our pop quiz as well. Again, folks, keep it up. It's awesome to see you guys so excited, so eager to learn English. All right, here's your Say What soundbite for the first time.
You know, it's difficult for me to talk. I don't know. It's going to be the last time that I'm going to be here in front of all of you. Honestly, I am not 100% sure, but if it's last time, I enjoy it. No.
All right, there you go. Anybody recognize that voice? All right, well, either way, that's not the idea. The idea isn't, do you recognize the voice? The idea is, how would you say what this person just said in your own words, right? How would you relay this information back to somebody and say, bueno, él dijo que tal, right? And then again, our ultimate goal is to write it down word for word. I don't think it's too tough today. We shall see. Veremos. Here it is for the second time.
You know, it's difficult for me to talk. I don't know. It's going to be the last time that I'm going to be here in front of all of you. Honestly, I am not 100% sure, but if it's last time, I enjoy it. No.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mhm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damian, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
Vaughantienda.com.
It's the shit. Oh, yeah, this book is the shit. It's available at vaughantienda.com. Also, you can pick it up at the Book Fair, Feria del Libro Madrid 2025. But today, we're not taking a look at that. We're taking a look at Speak English B2, another amazing material that you can pick up at the Book Fair. So hopefully you guys can make it there. Stand 309. All right, let's see who's with us. Looks like we've got a lot of participation here. Great. Mariona, she says, hi, Alonso, and the show with no namer mates. Hello, Mariona. Welcome aboard. She says, I'm so glad to be here again today. I want to give a big shout out to Ana Gomez. She's been listening to Show with No Name every afternoon for the past 20 years. Yes, 20 years. She absolutely loves it and is still super happy tuning in each day. Oh, well, there's just one problem. I think I've been doing it for 15 years, so 20 years, maybe listening to Vaughn Radio, possibly. But I think this program's around the 15-year mark now. I lost count. But excellent, excellent. Ana, you are an example. Also, Mariona says she was thrilled that AA mentioned her visit to the book fair. Such a sweet moment for her. Thanks for making her and all of us feel so seen and appreciated. Keep up the amazing work. Oh, that is magical. Well, thank you to Mariona and Ana and Laura and everybody who came to the book fair. Again, I'm sorry I couldn't be there any more dates, but I've got like 75 million kids' parties lined up. Yeah. My daughter's social calendar has got me, man, I am exhausted here. They don't stop. I'm like, how many friends does she have? Oh my goodness. So let's see. Speaking of other friends, here's Open Waters tuning in. And he says, morning, friends. Morning, Open Waters. What a great job. He already prepared and sent in his question of the week. So we'll be hearing from him on Friday. And remember, if you'd like to participate, all you have to do is drop me a 1-minute voice note to alonso@grupovon.com, and I'll put you on the show on Friday, and we'll hear from you, and I can help you as well. It's like, cuidado, esto no se dice así, se dice así. You know, these little tweaks, ajustes that'll help you sound better. Even though I've got to say, all of you sound great. And the most important part, you're all improving tremendously. So that is wonderful news. Let's see. Born to Ironman Open Waters, Mariona. Wow, great crowd today. Vaya, grupito. Open Waters is participating in our pop quiz. Let's see what Open Waters had to say. Open Waters says, remind me not to drink again. I have such a hangover. Great example. ¿Quién no lo ha dicho? Hey, didn't I say personalize it? Remind me never to drink. Yo creo que sí es correcto, pero ya añadimos never y lo. Remind me not to drink again, or remind me to never drink again. I have such a hangover. Good job. Also, be careful, guys. I've seen some people mix this stuff up. So I have a hangover. Tengo resaca. I'm hung over, con U. Estoy resacoso. It means the same thing, just don't mix them up. Open Waters used it as a noun, and he used it correctly. So I have a hangover, and I'm hungover. And have you ever thought about why it's called that? If you're hungover, estás agachado, estás like you're vomiting, you know. Think about that. All right, and the next one. She reminds me, you know what? She reminds me of childhood memories where everything was as bright as the bright blue sky. Her hair reminds me of a warm, safe place where, as a child, I'd hide and pray for the thunder and the rain. Why did... Oh, sing it, sweet child of mine. I sing that song to my daughter, and then she covers her ears and says, Daddy, stop singing. No, I'm kidding. She loves the song. It's a great, that riff. Were you doing that on purpose, Open Waters? She reminds me of childhood memories. I'm pretty sure that's one of the lines in the song. And the last one, He doesn't even remember me. Open waters. Hats off. Hats off to you, sir. What a way to get started. Mariona says, remind me that I have to file my tax return before June 30th. You can do it like that. Or, si quieres eliminar el that I have, remind me to file. O sea, si queremos eliminar sílabas que siempre, oye, mira, cuanto menos decimos, menos oportunidades de equivocarnos. So, remind me to, verbo. Okay, even though that's correct, it's a roundabout way to say it, and it is correct, but I think the direct way, remind me to file my tax return before June 30th. June 30th. Excellent. Good job. The next one, looking at Rocaco's paintings reminds me of paradise. Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh, won't you please take me home? Yeah. Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh, won't you please take me home? Are you guys playing with me today? Am I seeing Guns N' Roses everywhere? Or are you guys throwing Guns N' Roses lyrics at me subliminally? All right, Mariona, wonderful examples. Let's see this Criswell roll, rocking and rolling. She should be on her way to Madrid sooner than later, if my calculations are correct. Como dice Doc in Back to the Future. If my calculations are correct, when this baby hits 88, you're going to see some serious shit. Somebody grew up on movies. Hey, the trivia night, the more you know about like 80s and 90s and nostalgia and, toys and things like that, the better you're going to do tonight. So let's see. Morning show with no namers of the world, Chris Valrol says. She says, please reming me. Reming me. Okay. Remind me to leave the show in time to catch the train. The next one, you don't remind me of anyone. You're unique. And the last one, he doesn't even remember me. Great. You just had a little typo there, but... Well, you don't know how many times I've had students say to me, they said, Alberto, remember me tomorrow. I'm like, remember? Well, how am I going to, unless I have amnesia or something, remember, no, it's remind me, right? Remember me is acuérdate. ¿Ves? Hasta en español, recuérdate de mí, acuérdate. See? It's confusing. Well, in English, it's pretty simple. So we've got remind me to, es el recuérdame que. Pon un par de ejemplos. Remind me to drop off the dry cleaning. Remind me to tell you about our conversation earlier. Remind me to call the dentist tomorrow. Remind me to whatever. The important thing is that the structure stays the same. Now, remind me of is recordar a una cosa. So Paris reminds me of whatever. Me recuerda. Your sister reminds me of a distant cousin of mine. Esto es recordar a. Okay? And something you do on your own is remember. Right? So I remember when I was a child. Everything here reminds me of it. ¿Ves? The remind viene de fuera. And remember, I remember, no le usaba aposta. Nobody has to remind me because I remember it very clearly. Richard Vaughn came to talk to our training class when I first started working at Vaughn. And he says, you have to find a way to clarify things, to make things crystal clear, to make it so the students see the light. And he goes, for example, how would you explain the difference between remind and remember? And we were all like, remind is this. And he's like, okay. He drew a head, okay, a person's head. And he put the word remember inside the head. And then he put an arrow pointing at the head And he put remind. And he goes, any questions? Remembering you do on your own. Reminding takes an external. It's something reminds you, right? To do something or of something, as we just saw the two structures. So remember this. And if you don't remember it, don't worry. I'll remind you. Remind viene de fuera. Remember, lo haces tú solo. All right. And you know what? I'll never forget that. I'll remember it as long as I live. It was just he really simplified it to a point where it's like, who wouldn't understand that? I can show it to my daughter who's 5 and say, honey, you get it? Remembering you do by yourself, and remind has to come from outside. It's an external. Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right. There's Alina checking in. Hello, Alina. Good morning to you. Open Waters talking about today's Say What soundbite. Let's see. Open Waters. He said, I heard a non-English native speaker. He's addressing the public on a tennis court, the public or the audience on a tennis court, and he's speaking about a farewell. By the way, he's the GOAT. I'll take your word for it. Well, I don't know enough about tennis. But yes, and yes. You know who it is, and you know what's going on. More importantly, you got the gist of the situation, right? It's a farewell. Un adiós. Al partir, un beso y una flor, un te quiero, una caricia y un adiós. Es ligero equipaje para tan largo viaje. Las penas pesan en el corazón. I love Nino Bravo. Wow, what a song! What an artist! All right, say we got a musical show going on today, huh? Hey, it's your fault. You guys were mentioning Guns N' Roses, whether you did it on purpose or not. You've been secretly quoting Guns N' Roses lyrics here. All right, excellent, Open Waters. Let's see, Mariona. Mariona says, maybe it's a man speaking to an audience. Absolutely. He's grateful to be in front of them again, but doesn't know if it will be the last time. It feels like he's in some kind of contest because in a way, he's honored to be there. Something, a last time, but I'm not sure. Yes, you got the gist of it. Chris Valrol. She says, I heard a young, fantastic Spanish athlete who is giving a speech escrito con dos E's, no E-A, ¿ok? No como speak. Debería, en un mundo lógico, Chris, speech debería escribirse como speak, pero no, es E-E-K. No, ahora me estoy liando. S-P-E-A-K, ya sé que sabéis escribir speak, y speech S-P-E-E-C-H. So he's giving a speech in front of an audience. He says it could be the last time he's in this situation. It's a little bit tough saying goodbye. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, let's see. Born to Iron Man. He heard something and he's going to share it with us. Let's see what he heard, because the rest of the students so far, Open Waters, Mariona, Chris Valrol, they are on the right track. Eso se usa siempre, ¿eh? Encarrilados, por buen camino. You're on the right track. All right, let's see. Born to Iron Man says, that man has been one of the best tennis players. Aquí se emplea la S. That man has been one of the best tennis players in history. We can crystal clear listen to him. La estructura ahí es un poco raro. We can hear him crystal clear, or we can listen to him, or he speaks crystal clear, es lo que quieres decir? Because el crystal clear delante del listen es un poco, se entiende, pero no se diría de esa forma, right? So we can hear him, or he speaks, I would say he speaks crystal clear. Si eso es lo que querías decir. He says an emotive, buena palabra, emotivo, you say the same thing. You can also say moving or touching. right? Moving, conmovedor, moving, touching. So an emotive speaking to the audience. Maybe his last dance in the tennis show as a pro. All right. Open Water says, what? I can't believe you're singing Paradise City, Double A. You will understand when you hear my question of the week audio. Oh, really? I haven't listened to it yet. I've got to put it into my editing software because I like to always make sure that I've got your volume up all the way because everybody sends me different, from different recording devices. So I try and kind of make sure that they're all around the same level. Oh, yeah, that's a great song. Now, I got to say, Open Waters, if you know the lyrics, because I know it's rock and roll, but it's almost like rap. Let me see if I remember one of the parts. Just a nut and living under the street. I'm a hard case that's tough to beat. I'm your charity case, so buy me something to eat. I'll pay you at another time. Everybody's doing the time. Rags for riches, also they say. You gotta keep pushing for the fortune and fame. You know it's all a gamble when it's just a game. You treat it like a capital crime. Everybody's doing the time. Take me down to the Paradise City where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh, won't you please take me home? Hey, we can go all day, but I'm gonna ask you guys for one thing. Just a little patience. Yeah, just a little patience. I've been walking the streets tonight, just trying to get it right. It's hard to see with so many around. You know I don't like being stuck in the crowd. And the streets don't change, but baby, the names. I ain't got time for the games, cause I need you. Whoa, and I need you. Today is definitely World Guns N' Roses Day, at least on the show with no name. All right, folks, we'll be right back with much more, so stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Just a little patience. Well, we've got a lot of stuff to do here in the second half of today's show. We are going to kick things off with our homophones. Then we'll listen to our Say What soundbite for the third time. I have a hunch that many of you are going to be able to figure it out today. We've got Spelling Bee, Double Trouble, Name That Lyric, Name That Movie. and so much more. So you're not going to want to miss anything. And don't worry, if you can't tune in live, you can find all these shows, 10 hours a week of The Show with No Name, wherever you get your podcasts. So if you listen to podcasts on iVox, you can search for The Show with No Name or Vaughn Radio. Same thing with Spotify, Apple Podcasts. And this way, you can take us with you on your next trip. You know, the next time you got to be on a train for 5 hours, you've got a plan. You know, wherever you're going, when you get to your destination, well, you'll have mastered something. In 5 hours, you can master a lot of different structures. We've never been able to be so productive on the go. You know, like now, if you've got like a 3 or 4 hour commute, you know, y hay gente en Nueva York, eso es totalmente normal. 2 y 2, 4 hours that you're in a car or you're on the train or you're commuting. Well, you don't have that time. It doesn't have to be idle time. And you don't have to be learning either the whole time. Maybe you want to learn, you want to catch up on the sports scores, whatever it may be. But you don't have to be bored anymore. And you don't have to listen to traditional radio with, bueno, estamos aquí, you know, where you're just like, can you just let the song finish, please? Do you mind? Sí, amigos. You're like, that's the best part of the song. And you just talked over it. I don't know. That doesn't. Maybe it happens in the States, but in Spain, it happens a lot. And in fact, I don't. As many of you probably know, I don't consume normal TV and normal radio. I don't know. It's just I guess I did when I lived with my parents, but you know, my trust in those institutions are not very. I think in the last 10 years, most of the trust in the mainstream media has been lost for one reason or another. And some would say, you know, since the days of Kennedy and even, you know, the Second World War and the propagandas. Hey, folks, you choose what comes into your body. I feel like it's like anything, you know, like if you drink alcohol every day, well, your body's going to be poisoned. Well, if you're watching the news every day and they're telling you crime is up, people are dying, you're going to be poisoned, right? By just as much as if you had like real poison, because that's poison for the brain, for the mind, right? So I get it. I know a lot of people like to keep up with current events, but a lot of times you feel like you're being distracted from the real news. You know, you're like, what? This is news? Really? Oh, okay. Well, wow. All right. Well, we've got a lot of stuff to cover, amigos. So we are going to kick things off with today's Homophones on the Show with No Name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name.
The show with no name. The show with homophones. Show with no name. All right, amigos, it's homophones only on the show with no name. The first word I think you might know, I'm pretty sure you know it, it's alma. In civilian, it's arma, right? In civilian Spanish, mi arma. But the word is alma. It also means que tienes chispa, tienes, que no eres soso. No haces las cosas con poco de, right? So, the first word, alma, and the next word, what is this? Now I'm hearing some vibrating here. Hello. I don't know what's going on here. The first word, alma, And the second word has many meanings. Okay. The second word is la planta del pie, la suela del zapato, which, as you're seeing in English, it's the same word. It also means único y exclusivo. It also means lenguado. That's right. Lenguado, the famous fish? Yes. All right. Anybody getting hungry right now? And I think that could be a quadruple trouble if we wanted it to be that second word. So the first word again is alma. The second word is planta del pie, suela del zapato, único, exclusivo. We'll take a look at all these examples afterwards. And lenguado, a kind of fish. All right, my amigos, those are your homophones words today. Let's see if you're familiar with them and if you know if they sound the same or not. Also, let me give you today's Say What soundbite. Here it is for the third time.
You know, it's difficult for me to talk. I don't know. It's going to be the last time that I'm going to be here in front of all of you. Honestly, I am not 100% sure, but if it's last time, I enjoy it. No.
¿Qué tiene que ver la Universidad de Oxford con Vaughan? Pues muchísimo. Es una alegría anunciar que Vaughan ha sido certificado como centro examinador de Oxford Test of English. A partir del próximo mes de marzo 2023, podrás hacer los exámenes de Oxford Test of English en los centros de Vaughan. Si quieres más información sobre esta iniciativa de Vaughan y Oxford, puedes ver más en nuestra página web, grupovaughan.com. O bien síguenos en redes sociales para más información. Oxford Test of English con Vaughan.
Brilliant!
If you want more information about the Oxford Test of English, our summer camps, if you want to find out more about the Masters, any of our initiatives, you can follow us on social media and you can reach out there. All right. Where were we? ¿Dónde estábamos? Chris Valrol says, I'm on tenterhooks. Great expression there. In Ascuas, you say? I'm on tenterhooks. I love it. Great one. Born to Iron Man says, Nino Bravo was from a village near my neck of the woods. Sin el of no cuadra ahí. So near my neck of the woods, mi zona. Te doy un totally native for my neck of the woods, mi zona, pero of, near of, no, near. A secas. From the village where the real Coca-Cola was created and invented, though another person patented it beforehand. Aielo de Malferit in Valencia. Speaking of poison, Coca-Cola. And then when you hear that they stole the recipe from a guy in Valencia, that's not cool. That is not cool at all. Let's see. Chris Valrol says, the morning singer is here again, referring to my YouTube series, The Morning Singer, where I pick apart songs and teach you a little English with music like we do here on the show. Mariona says, Double A sings so well. Yeah, no. And she says, when are you going to do a concert or maybe bring back the series where you explain song lyrics while singing? That was amazing. The Morning Singer. So Chris and Mariona, you are on the same page. Thank you. I don't know, guys. I've told you my issue with social media lately. Like, I feel like that it's a lot of effort, you know, to post videos and you know, and then comment. It's not just the posting. You got to think of the videos, you got to create them, you got to post them. And I've got one problem. I refuse to pay any of these platforms. Okay. I have experimented with some campaigns in the past, and they were disastrous. I think I even lost followers. So I refuse to pay Facebook, YouTube, all these ones. They want you to pay to be seen in their algorithm, and I can't do it. I can't be bothered. So they. I've got to say, a lot of times, what was happening, and the reason I'm not producing videos right now is I would put my heart and soul into a video, and then I would drop it, and I would get like 100 views, and I'm like, okay, well, so it's a matter of it wasn't working out. I know a lot of people liked it, but it was taking a lot of time, and it wasn't really giving me anything. So I'm kind of that's kind of my social media stance these days. So, but thank you for your feedback on the section, and who knows, maybe I'll get inspired to start using social media again as a teaching tool. But I got disillusioned, I've got to say, because I remember in the early days, if you could get seen, and you can there was something called organic growth, and now that's limited if you don't pay them, right? They only let you be seen by the people. So it's a shame, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. So instead of playing their game, I've decided I'll just not use their platforms very much. And I apologize to those of you who follow me on social media and you're like, well, this guy's never posting any content anymore. That's the reason. It's I don't know, just got me down in the dumps. Made me think, what the hell am I, what am I doing here? And then I would see, then I would get a recommendation like, check out this English teacher, 7 million views, and they're just explaining and and I'm like, so here I am trying to be all creative and funny and coming up with jokes, and that's what people want, like a car, an ambulance, okay. And I'm like, okay. So again, I'm a bit disillusioned with that whole world, and we'll see. I don't like, I never want to say never, but my life has been I've had a lot more time to do other things since I'm not producing content for social media. So I do apologize, and that's the explanation why the Morning Singer, English Everywhere. I mean, there was a point where I was producing like 2 videos a week on YouTube, a video a day on Instagram and Facebook, and I had I had a lot of stuff, but again, I was being seen by 100 people. I was getting like 20 likes, and I'm like, And of course, I guess like everything in life, you evaluate it, and you say, is this worth my time? And at that point, no. Maybe in the future it will be again. Maybe things will change, but I'm not too hopeful. And as I said, my life has been a lot better. I have more time for people, for friends, for sometimes just to read like a normal article, not read tweets or Instagram posts, but actually like read. So that's where I am with that. All right, let's see. Open Waters is giving us the second word is not the word we're looking for, so I can't judge your answer there, right? No puedo juzgar por eso, porque no estamos hablando de lo mismo there. But the second word that you put means tierra, right? If you're going to be gardening, and it also means ensuciar. So it's a good word. It's just not the one we're looking for. Born to Iron Man gives us the 2 words, and he's throwing in a third word over here. Interesting. Let's see. Chris Valrol says, Soul, my sister. Oh, so your sister's name is Alma. Awesome. Is she the alma de la fiesta? We can say the life of the party or the life and soul of the party. Yo diría the life of the party, pero también vale. Eh? So she gives us the 2 words correctly, like Born to Iron Man, and she says they're homophones as well. Mariona says but Mariona, you've got the words backwards. So the first things first in this section. The first word is the first word, and the second word is the second word. If not, it's the opposite. So you gave me lenguado, and then alma. So, o te has equivocado de orden, o piensas que esa palabra. So that's what I mean. So let's keep it always in the same order, because if not, then I don't know if we're talking about the same thing here, right? So if I say the first word is on the second word, or else I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure if you're not sure of them or not. Let's see. All right, let's see. Anybody else? I got some comments, but they're not related to the homophone section. All right, so the first word is soul. Soul. Okay. I think you've heard the word. It's a kind of music, soul music, right? Who doesn't like some good soul music? It soothes your soul, right? To soothe your soul te tranquiliza el alma, especially if you're with your soulmate. And your soulmate is tu alma gemela, you say? We say alma del alma. No, alma. Yeah, alma. Soul. No, mate. Bueno, amigo is mate in British English, but somebody who is your mate in American English is your partner, tu pareja, somebody you mate with, procrear. So careful. I mean, we know you could, if you went to the United States and you said, "Hey, mate, you know what time it is?" Obviously, we know you mean friend, but technically we would not say, "Hey, mate." That's totally British, totally British. So your soulmate is your media naranja, right? And the second word, soul, se escribe sole, like, oh, sole mío, está en fronte a ti, oh, sole mío, está en fronte a ti. All right, let's see. Mariona's given us both of them in a sentence here. Mariona, let's use your sentence to see if they sound the same, because everybody's saying yeah here. Okay, Mariona says she has a beautiful soul. He was the sole survivor. So she has a beautiful soul. He was the sole survivor. Yes, they do sound the same. And Born to Iron Man pointed out a third word that sounds like that, and it's the capital of Korea, Seoul. We call it Seoul. So the people in Seoul have no soul, but they love soul for dinner, lenguado, right? So, wow, very, very rich word. And remember, that second one has a lot of meanings. The soul, it's a synonym for only. The sole purpose, the only reason. So excellent job, amigos. And now it's time for your spelling bee.
Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee.
All right, amigos, here's your spelling bee. As always, I'm going to spell some words for you. Round one is going to be tough. All right, is everybody ready? All aboard. The first one is ICE space 1. The second one is HANOVER dash HAMBURG space RAILWAY. The third one is EC. Excuse me. The third one is, I'll start again, ESCHEDE. The fourth one, Lower space Saxony. The fifth one is Derailed. And the last one is 101 space Fatalities. Whoa. All right. There you go. And so fast that I made a mistake on the third one and I had to start it again. Also, I've got to admit, it's a foreign word. It's not a word I've ever spelled aloud because it's not an English word. All right, so you got a little clue there. All right, well, I don't know if that's going to help you with the words, but it'll help you with the topic that the words are based around. Let's see. Chris says, indeed, my lovely sister is the life and soul of the party. Well, then she has an appropriate name. All right, let's see. We've got Born to Iron Man taking a stab at it. Born to Iron Man, the first one is correct. The second one is also correct. The third one is correct. The fourth one's correct. The fifth and unbelievable, the sixth. Wow. Hey, and speaking of Guns N' Roses, loaded like a freight train, flying like an aeroplane, feeling like a space brain one more time tonight. I'm on the night train, ready to crash and burn. I never learn. I'm on the night train. Today is definitely Guns N' Roses Day, and I did not plan that. And also they've got another song. My baby's got a locomotive going off the track. My baby's got a locomotive. Locomotive. So you've got Night Train and Locomotive. Wow. Let's see. Also, Open Waters. It looks like you got it as well. Give it up for the guys today. Born to Iron Man and Open Waters getting today's spelling bee on the first go. Impressive. Very impressive. All right, but we've got to do round two. Here we go, amigos. I'm going to slow down a little bit, just enough where I don't make mistakes, hopefully. All right, the first one is ICE space 1. The second one is HANOVER dash HAMBURG space RAILWAY. The third one is ESCHEDE. The fourth one is LOWER space SAXONY. The fifth one, DERAILED. And the last one is 101 space FATALITIES. Amigos, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but we'll be right back with the rest of today's show. We've got a lot to cover in the fourth part of the show. We're going to kick things off with our double trouble. We've got our Say What soundbite for the fourth time. We'll take a look at what the spelling bee words had in common, plus movies, music, and so much more. So, if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Say it with me. 3, 2, 1. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back. This is part 4 of today's show with no name on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget to stay tuned this afternoon. You've got amazing programs all afternoon and evening long. Download the free app, and this way you can learn with us, in the words of Shakira, wherever, whenever, wherever. We're meant to be together. I'll be here and you'll be there, and that's the deal, my dear. Hey, you never know what to expect. You can hear Guns N' Roses or Shakira on this song. Or Oh Sole Mio, classic Italian tunes. You never know. I never know. All right, folks. We were taking a look at our spelling bee. All these words had to do with a terrible high-speed rail accident. Today in 1998, a train that was going on the Hanover-Hamburg Railway, that was number 2, an Ice 1 train, that's the model, that was number 1. Well, it derailed in Eschede. I don't know if I pronounced that right. That was also the one I didn't know how to spell. In the Lower Saxony region of Germany, that's number 4, the train derailed. So, remember we said you're on the right track? Well, to derail is if a train comes off the track. It happened here in Spain, I remember, as well. And the train derailed, unfortunately. This, again, was today in 1998 in the Lower Saxony area of Germany, and there were 101 fatalities or casualties in this horrible high-speed rail accident. And hey, there have been train accidents since the beginning of time, but never before have trains gone 300 kilometers per hour. And we all know from a car or a bike, it's not the same to crash or to have an accident at 20 kilometers per hour as opposed to 200 kilometers per hour. So very, very sad day. But hopefully, like with all these kind of accidents with trains and planes, and well, what happens is there's a thorough investigation to make sure, okay, other accidents may happen. It's, life, but not that one, not that. And again, a lot of times it's a chain of events. One thing, somebody didn't check that, and then the other person assumed it, and then before. But I'll tell you what's always, 99% of the time, there's one factor that's always involved. Humans. That's right. All right, amigos, let's kick things off with our double trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
That's right, amigos. It's double trouble here on the show with no name. And let's see what we've got for today's double trouble. I think, I could be wrong, but I think most of you are going to know these words here and their double meanings. We'll see. We'll find out in just a moment, won't we? Habría tenido un buen viaje si no se hubiese tropezado. O hubiera tenido, I get confused here. So hubiera o habría, él hubiera tenido o habría tenido un buen viaje si no se hubiese o hubiera. You guys, you confuse me if you give me too many options here. Tropezado. And I got to tell you something. I always mix up in Spanish atropellar and tropezarse. So until me atropelló un coche, then I never made that mistake again. I was like, okay, very clear now. Got it loud and clear. Oh, man, that was horrible. I still get post-traumatic stress when I hear a car accelerate. When I hear somebody step on the gas and I hear, whoo, I'm like, oh, it's like, I'm telling you. And it happened to my dog too, because as many of you know, when I got hit by a car, I was walking my late dog, mi difunto, my poor Simon, and he froze after. I mean, thank God he didn't get hit. I took it for both of us, but he froze. He was like, ugh. And for months and months, I would say, even until he died, anytime he or I heard a car stepping on the gas pedal, it evoked some kind of reaction in us. All right, so habría, I don't know if I'm saying it right in Spanish. You give me too many options with the past conditional. So habría o hubiese tenido un buen viaje, si no hubiese o habría, I don't know, tropezado. Si no se hubiese tropezado. All right, that's your double trouble. Good luck. I think it's an easy one. We shall see. Also, let me give you the Say What soundbite. Here it is for the fourth time.
You know, it's difficult for me to talk. I don't know. It's going to be the last time that I'm going to be here in front of all of you. Honestly, I am not 100% sure, but if it's last time, I enjoy it now.
¿Qué tal vas de ánimo? ¿Necesitas un empujón? ¿Un poco de aliento? No sweat. No te preocupes. Pásate por vaughantienda.com y hazte con nuestro nuevo material multimedia. 365 días de wellness e inglés. Y viene de la mano de tu propio personal trainer profesional, David Gómez Agudo, conocido por sus miles de seguidores en las redes como Fitbull Coach. Trabajarás fitness, mindset, nutrición y por supuesto el inglés. Y viene con más de 250 vídeos para que entrenes junto con tu coach. Es un win-win. Haz que este año sea tu año, con 365 días de wellness e inglés. Just one of the newest materials you can pick up at the book fair at a 10% discount. Remember, our stand is $309, and usually there are people there on the weekend signing. So if you go during the week, the good news, there aren't as many people in the park. The weekend, there are tons of people, and but the good thing is you'll be able to see Richard Vaughn or Kyle. Again, take a look at those schedules. They're all on Vaughn's Instagram, they're on LinkedIn. I'm sure they posted it on Facebook and everywhere else. All right, let's take a look at today's double trouble here. Born to Iron Man says he would have had a good trip if he hadn't tripped. Yes. Ahora lo dices, es difícil. Técnicamente sí, pero no. Why? ¿Sabes el participio? Pues es la forma del verbo que vas a usar en ambas partes. Ahora solo hay que saber qué le acompaña. So, vamos a usar el mismo verbo. I would have gone if you had gone. O sea, lo bueno, it's the same tense. We're just using one with would have and the other one with had. Okay? So now a lot of Americans don't use this correctly. Don't correct them, but just so you know, we do the double would. I would have gone if you would have gone. And that is, but Born to Iron Man knows that. Most Americans don't, but you do. So he would have had, y el have, como dijimos ayer, se pronuncia como of, cuando se dice, ¿no? He would have, dilo conmigo en voz alta, por favor. He would have had a good trip if he hadn't tripped. Excellent job. Did you ever hear the expression, I hope you had a nice fall. Enjoy your trip. You get it? Fall, caída, otoño, trip, viaje, trip, tropiezo. It's a classic. Did you have a nice fall? Did you enjoy your trip? Sounds like you're saying something nice, but really you're laughing at somebody because they tripped. Also, to trip is to hallucinate. All right. Also, it means pero no solo en el significado que te has tomado LSD. No, dude, you're tripping. Estás flipa, estás alucinando. Que no, you're tripping. So we use it pretty often, not just with viaje, have a nice trip, right? Also, he tripped. Acuérdate de la columna T ahí. Let's see. So, open waters. He would have had a good trip if he hadn't tripped over. Excellent. Daniela, he would have had a good trip if he hadn't tripped. Great. Chris Valrol. Guys, let me say something. You all of you who just participated, just used perhaps the most complicated structure in any language, and I didn't see one mistake in the past conditional. Oh, es chungo. En español, en inglés, it's difficult. All right, also, give it up for the fellas. We've got two guys here, Open Waters and Born to Iron Man, who have figured out today's Say What soundbite. Wow. You guys are on it today. Well, you're on it every day. But unbelievable participation today. All right, well, since I'm so happy with your participation, I'm taking you guys to the movies. My treat. Invito yo. Name that movie. Also, Chris Valrol. So, Open Waters, Born to Iron Man, and Chris Valrol figuring out today's Say What soundbite. All right, here's your movie. This is a classic. And this is one of those movies that you guys translated really funny. Like, really funny. Like, when I heard it, I was like, what? Okay. All right. Here's the synopsis of the movie. After two male musicians witness a mob hit, they flee the state in an all-female band disguised as women. But further complications set in. Empiezan, ¿no? To set in. Se inician. Okay? So, after two male musicians, varones, witness. So, witness es testigo, pero también es el verbo ser testigo. So, they witness a mob hit. Mob is mafia. We looked it up. We had a mafia show recently, and a hit es un golpe. O sea, un asesinato, a mob hit. They flee the state. To flee es huir, to run away. Run away from the pain, yeah, 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 run away. Hey, we can do a little Aerosmith with our Guns N' Roses. Run away. Also, we can say to flee. Flee, fled, fled. Okay? It's a weird one there. So, in an all-female band disguised as women, okay, they flee the state, se huyen del estado, in all de hembras, disguised es disfrazado de, and as we said, further complications set in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Chris Valrol. Some like it hot. Some like it hot. You call it with skirts and crazy. Con faldas y a lo loco. Some like it hot. It stars the one and only Marilyn Monroe. Que acuérdate, en inglés no es Monroe, as you guys say, it's Monroe. So Marilyn Monroe, Tony Curtis, Jack Lemmon, Billy Más Salvaje, Billy Wilder. Okay, all right. And the movie came out in 1959. Do you know it still has 8.2 stars on IMDb out of 10? So that's awesome. Again, the translation is priceless. Con faldas y a lo loco. Some like it hot. Let's take a look at the scene that I've chosen for you. Jerry says, oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. No, para ahí. Osgood, I'm going to level with you. And if I tell you I'm going to level with you, it means I'm going to be frank with you, like Chris Frank, and frankly speaking. I'm going to be straight with you. I'm going to level with you. Okay, just another way to say it. We can't get married at all. No podemos casarnos en absoluto. And Osgood says, why not? And Jerry says, well, in the first place, I'm not a natural blonde. And Osgood says, it doesn't matter. So he's trying to convince her, like, I'm a man. I'm not really a woman. I'm not marrying you. And Jerry says, I smoke. I smoke all the time. So trying to turn him off, right? Repelerle. And Osgood's like, I don't care. Me da igual. And Jerry says, well, I have a terrible past. For 3 years now, I've been living with the saxophone player. Llevo 3 años viviendo con uno que toca el saxofono. And Osgood says, I forgive you. Te perdono. I forgive you. And Jerry says tragically, I can never have children. He doesn't know what to say anymore. Now he's saying, I'm barren. I can't have children. I can never have children. Like, you don't want me. And then Osgood says, well, he's very persistent, this Osgood. And he goes, well, we can adopt some. And Jerry says, but you don't understand, Osgood. Oh. And then Jerry finally gives up. Okay? To give up is darse por vencido. Okay? He finally gives up and pulls off his wig. Y quita su peluca. And in his normal voice says, I'm a man. And Osgood shrugs, encoge como los hombros, and says, well, nobody's perfect. So it seems like this Osgood guy is pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? Persistent. All right, excellent job, Chris Valrol. And folks, now it's time for famous birthday trivia. That's right, amigos. It's famous birthdays here on the show with no name. Let's see what we've got here. The first person was born in 1942. He died in 1999, and he was an American singer, songwriter, producer, guitarist. He was dubbed. Dubbed is another way of saying nombrado. You know it from another song. So I dubbed the unforgiven, never free, never me. So I dubbed the te nombro el imperdonado. So he was dubbed the gentle genius, probably one of the most influential musicians in the genre known as soul. Hey, we looked at that word today in our homophones. And, well, he was with the group, the vocal group, The Impressions, and he started in a gospel choir like many of the crooners, the famous singers from back then. They all got their start in the church. And he's got so many songs, People Get Ready. I love that one, People Get Ready. And another one of my favorite ones is Move On Up. I mean, basically, the biggest soul essentials come from this guy. And yeah, he's if you don't know him by now, you might not know him. He died of complications of type 2 diabetes. So number 2, this guy was born in 1925, and he was in the Defiant Ones. He was also in Some Like It Hot. Con faldas y a lo loco. Yeah, the one we just looked at. You got it. He was in Some Like It Hot as well. And last but not least, this Spanish tennis player is, man, he was ranked number 1 for 209 weeks And he finished as number one at the end of the year 5 times. If I read off his records and everything he's won, we'll be here forever. And his last name means Christmas in Valenciano and Catalan, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So there you go, folks. Those are your 3 famous birthdays over there. The first one, oh, he also did Superfly, the soundtrack Superfly. So basically anything that you consider the early days of soul came from this dude, este tío. All right, I'm going to give them to you because we don't have much time. Number 1, Curtis Mayfield. Number 2, Tony Curtis. Wait, what just happened there? Tony Curtis Mayfield? Is that a hybrid of the two? So Curtis Mayfield, number 1, Tony Curtis, number 2, and number 3, Rafa Nadal. And that's going to bring us over to today's Say What soundbite. Many of you got it. Great job. And it's Rafa Nadal. And he's talking to his fans, to the audience, and he says, it's difficult for me to talk. Me cuesta hablar. I don't know it's going to be the last time. Mejor, I didn't know, pero bueno. He's good at other things. I don't know it's going to be the last time that I'm going to be here in front of all of you. Okay? He says, honestly, I'm not 100% sure. But if it is the last time, I enjoy it now. I'm not going to correct Rafa Nadal, but, I'll tell you what, Rafa, if you help me with my tennis skills, or just any kind of skills that have to do with sports and athletics, I'll help you with your English. Hey, that sounds like a good exchange there. So here he is, the man, Rafa Nadal.
It's difficult for me to talk. I don't know it's going to be the last time that I'm going to be here in front of all of you. Honestly, I am not 100% sure, but if it's last time, I enjoy it now.
Hi, hello, Gordo. I think the song is... No? Sorry, bye.
Name the lyric, name the lyric, name the lyric, name the lyric. Only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name the lyric, only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name the lyric, only on the show with no name.
Great job, everybody. Great job. And what do you think? We're going to look at a Guns N' Roses song? No, not today. Not today. We've already looked at enough Guns N' Roses songs. I figured we could take a look at Curtis Mayfield and his song, Move On Up, Ascender, no, seguir subiendo. The way it sounds, move on up. And the lyrics are really cool. If you'd like to take a look at the lyrics with me, Google Move On Up by the one and only Curtis Mayfield. And he says, hush now, child. Hush es calla, niñito. And don't you cry. Don't you cry tonight. I still love you, baby. Don't you cry tonight. Guns N' Roses had to come in there one more time. That was not planned. So hush now, child, and don't you cry. Your folks might understand you by and by. And by, that's a great one. By no es como comprar, en este caso, sino la preposición by and by. De aquí a un rato. Okay, it says here, de aquí a un rato would be the translation. Just move on up. Move on up towards your destination, though you may find from time to time complications. Bite your lip. Significa lo mismo. Muerde, you could say la lengua o labio. Bite your lip and take a trip. I don't think he means tropezarse there. I think he means viaje. Well, either way, we look at those words in our Double Trouble, so you should know them. Amigos, let's go out with a bang. Vamos por la puerta grande with Curtis Mayfield and Move On Up. Thank you so much, everybody. It's been an absolute pleasure. As always, I love spending time with my driven students. Stay tuned. We've got tons more English up ahead. And folks, we'll be back tomorrow with more. Ciao for now. Come on, let's go. Just move on up. Toward your destination.